What's a stone? I have a scale that weighs me in stones. I've never heard of a stone. Apparently I am 27.82 stones, which is about 380 some pounds. It's been a day. To be honest, I haven't done much to really start this process other than talk about it, but I am talking about it. I did do a little exercise this morning. I went into the city to teach a workshop and it just didn't work out, and I had some extra time on my hands, so I went walking in Times Square, actually handed out some flyers and started dancing a little bit. Everybody dance now! And I was just out and about in Times Square, and then I was singing last night, and I find that when I sing this intense music that we sing in church, I really engage my core. It's not really exercise, but I always say it's better than sitting at home watching TV and stuffing your face with nachos. So, I haven't lost any weight. It's only been a day, so I'm not really worried about that. And I really haven't done anything to lose weight. I've had a lot of coffee. I probably still had too much cheese. I went to Taco Bell drive-thru last night. I went through to get a water and a coffee. Ended up getting a Craver box with a burrito, a chalupa, I think it was a chalupa, and a taco. I didn't eat all the crunchy cinnamon puffy things, like the dessert Cheetos, whatever those things are. I had an open-faced ham and cheese sandwich yesterday with a little bit of hot sauce and strawberry jam. Really good strawberry preserves. It was almost like a Monte Cristo kind of thing. I'm pretty sure I've never seen Monte Cristo on a diet menu. Larice just made herself some pork barbecue. She didn't like it, so I ate that. And have you ever had barbecue pork, pulled pork, or I guess it was chicken? When you buy it at the store, it's got a lot of sugar. I don't know about the fat so much, because it's pretty lean meat, but it certainly had a lot of sugar. Very, very sweet. Only used 2 pieces of bread, and it was a light bread, so that's a step in the right direction. I had multigrain bread yesterday, really high fiber stuff. Today I had 2 slices of the Arnold's Light, where it's like 3 slices is about the same calories as a single slice. If I remember correctly, in Weight Watchers, the points are different now, but back in the day, like 2 or 3 slices was a point. So as bread goes, that's probably one of the better things you can do, especially for somebody like me who likes to eat a lot of bread and a lot of carbs. Like it's a carbohydrate substitute where you can eat a lot and it doesn't add too much to your diet. So, maybe I'll weigh myself tomorrow, I'll be down a little bit. So that's not a bad thing. I will like to say thank you. I posted the video yesterday and a lot of people sent me some love and encouragement directly on YouTube, a lot through Twitter, and I have a lot of doubts in this process only because I've done it so many times. So, and every time it's harder and harder to get started. And these days, I don't want to get too much into it, but the current status of our American politics, I feel myself as I get older getting more sensitive to other people's anger and sadness, and I've been through a lot of things myself in the last couple months. So I'm having a harder time getting myself motivated this time around, to be honest. The one thing that's making it easier and really getting my butt off the couch, and yesterday and this morning both, I really had more desire than I've had in a long time to really work at this, and get out and walk. I did a lot of walking today. Not a lot, for people that walk, but for me, I was out and about on my feet quite a bit. Usually nowadays, the only time I get on my feet is if I have a show. And I walked and just promoted my show actually in Times Square for a little bit for the first time in years. I went into Times Square and just handed out flyers for like an hour. But walking around Times Square, singing, dancing, engaging with people in a very positive manner. And it made me feel good too, because I'm a weird cat. I actually like that stuff a little bit. I had fun doing it. I was in the rain. I didn't mind being in the rain. But everyone walking around has a puss on their face. You know what I mean? Like there's too much BRF in this world for my taste. Bitchy resting face, they call it. And most people try to justify BRF. And I want to say, don't justify BRF because it looks depressing. And I know there are more people with BRF than a natural smiling face. Like the smile is going out of fashion. But you know what? I think that's why more people are angry and depressed. The smile is actually therapeutic. When you smile, all the good stuff starts to happen, you know. And when you first do it, it feels fake. When you really stretch it out, all of a sudden, everything just wakes up. My voice is more awake, just since I was not really looking forward to doing a video a day later when I feel like I haven't done anything to really warrant doing another video, and it's from a dietary, lifestyle change standpoint. One of my problems, and not to push all my problems on other people or pass the buck, I feel like I go around trying to make people smile, and it's getting harder and harder. And I feel like the only thing I could do is ask everyone out there to do what I tell my students to do. You got homework every morning, start the day with a smile. I haven't been doing this a lot lately. I have let myself get lazy, and a lot of it's justified. A lot of it is, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of sadness that's very justified. If you're depressed, I'm not gonna tell you you're not justified, that's wrong. I have a lot of issues to work through because my weight, my health is very much attached to my emotional status. Not just negative. To be fair, it's not, when I'm in a really good place, I eat to celebrate. I'm like, hey, I feel so great, let's get cake. Or, oh, I feel like crap, let's get cookies. Cookies more for depressing, cake is when I'm celebrating. Good pie, good apple pie. Americano, American apple pie, a la mode, with a good cup of coffee. Luckily, I drink my coffee black or skim milk most of the time, so. I did notice last week I drank whole milk because I had it in the house. I didn't want to waste it, so I drank a lot of whole milk, and I definitely gained a pound or two just by switching to whole milk in my coffee. I'm only scratching the surface. I have huge plans to stock up this house with fruit and veggies. I haven't done it yet. Like I said, I know how to do this. I could write the book. I appreciate all the encouragement. When we're out and about, don't encourage me to drink. I really need to stop drinking. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I have a control of my alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic, I don't think. I've never had a problem where I really need a drink. But when I get together with friends, I drink wine and beer and other things like it's water. Because I can until a point, and then I can't. But it adds a lot of calories, and I eat a lot of junk when I drink, a lot of garbage. And the next day, when you're hungover or you're just feeling a little cotton mouth, or I don't smoke, or whatever that thing is, you're all dry, and I haven't been a party animal officially in a long time, so I forget some of the terminology. I eat a lot of junk the next morning, So the alcohol is a part of it. I did an Easter, like a Lenten season, about 3, 4, 5 years ago, where I didn't have any coffee and I didn't have any alcohol for like 6 weeks, almost all of Lent. No, actually, I might have gone through Lent. I forget. I think I had a glass of wine before Easter, but it was after Palm Sunday, so I think I've figured out, I think that's okay. Like your Lenten stuff, I don't know. I'm a bad Catholic. But long story short, I know if I drink less, when I'm focused, I really know how to do this. I'm a different guy, I'm gonna warn you. When I'm really hyper-focused, I'm a very different guy. I'm not as fun-loving. I'm fighting all the urges that make me go party and eat like it doesn't matter and say stuff like it doesn't matter. I become much more self-conscious. I become much more aware of what's coming in. As an improv artist, I pride myself not being conscious of a lot, and it allows me to be fearless. And I'm very conscious, it's not like I totally give in, but I let the subconscious rule the moment. And I tap into memories, I tap into stuff, and half the time it doesn't make sense to anybody because it's so, making the leap from A to D too quickly sometimes. But I tap into things, I tap into references, sometimes completely non sequiturs. And it's just being in the moment. And in order for me to be successful with this, I have to be the other kind of guy. I'm more like most people at that point, so it's not actually a bad thing. I do get more angry about minutia, especially when I stop feeding the emotional responses with food, because that's my usual go-to. So when I am upset and I don't eat, I might stay upset a little longer. If I'm really crazy excited and I don't eat, I might be a little crazy excited a little longer. That's not a bad thing. But I do know when I stop using food as my number one drug for emotional dysfunction or whatever, I become whatever. Well, I don't even want to, I'm just saying, I change a little bit when I really get focused. And in many ways for the better. Don't be upset when I'm not the same fun-loving fat guy. There'll be less of me to love physically. There'll be more quality output because I stay focused when I don't eat too much sugar. I don't get the headaches. I don't get carb crashes. I don't get the carbohydrate crashes when I don't eat as much cake and cookies and junk, and I eat less cheese, and I'm actually much more on the go. I get more impatient because when I get those moments of like, I'm ready to swim, I'm ready to get on a bike, I'm ready to actually go for a walk, they come few and far between, and I know that. So when those urges come and I can't act on them, I freak out because I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna get this urge to be motivated again. When I get that urge to be motivated, just let me go, you know what I mean? And it's annoying sometimes because it's gonna be much more self-serving on my part, but at that moment, all I can think of is this is what I have to do to get rid of all this. I'm less emotional about it. I'm more contemplative about it. And actually, just doing this video is very therapeutic. You know, I don't have a therapist to listen to me, but I've got all of my friends to listen to me, all of my fans, all of my support mechanism on the internet, and just talking out loud. You know, it's the same process, whether there's a therapist or psychiatrist or a camera. It's listening to my own voice and listening to the garbage, the bowl, where I'm justifying stuff as much as listening to, oh yeah, that's gonna happen, or that's who I become, or that's what I need to do. You know, it's just thinking it out loud. It's another way to process and get yourself mentally prepared for this journey. And in addition, I haven't done it yet. You know what I really need to do? I need to pick up a journal and start keeping that weight loss journal. I used to do the Weight Watchers website. I don't think it works for me. I do acting class. I was always trained to keep a journal, and I always tell my students to keep a journal, especially with stand-up writing, right? And they asked me, can I just do it on my phone? I said, yes, but there's something about that process, you know, that kinetic hand-eye coordination, whatever it is. You write it down, even if you never look at it again, that process, it really helps you when you go back and look at it 2 or 3 times, and it multiplies your process. A big part of this process is changing my story. I don't know if you ever know the change your story, change your life philosophy, but for me to change my story, because I'm a very self-aware person, I can't just start doing something new. I really, in many ways, have to brainwash myself. I'm just the kind of person that I don't do that easily. It's not enough to just say, I'm just gonna do this. I really have to get myself every day, you know, eventually it kicks in and I get to that point where it's automatic. But even then you think it's automatic, and then you start to trust yourself too much, and you're not trusting the process, you're trusting yourself to just do it. And it's funny, when I'm talking about it, I'm hearing like, it's, you know, it's me, you know, it's as if I'm talking to somebody else. I'm looking at the screen and the camera, seeing myself talk, but I'm hearing my voice and like, it's me. It's me. How do I let myself get to this place? And there's a lot of answers for that, but none of them are good. It's laziness, listening to the negative voices too much, and instead of saying no to them, I start to say maybe they're right too much. I think I have not gotten to the point yet where I say, yeah, they're right. You know, I think I stopped short, but I'm this close. And I've never been this, well, that's not true. I've been this close before. I've had rock bottom moments where I've had bigger rock bottom moments where I've started this process. And maybe that's the hard thing. You know, I'm very much in a rock bottom place, but I don't feel like I'm in a rock bottom place. I'm not as financially strapped as I have been. I don't feel as sick as I have in the past when I've hit that point where I said, no more, today's the day, you know? I think that's why I haven't jumped on the bandwagon of myself, my own bandwagon, too strongly, you know, yet. We'll do it. No more excuses, all right? Hey guys, I gotta go. If I have to, I'll just go jump in the pool for an hour. And to me, there's nothing better than swimming when it comes to losing weight. Exercising, toning, and as a singer, the breathing. I really need to go jump in the pool because I have a lot of singing to do this weekend. I have a big concert tomorrow. I'm singing at a funeral. I'm singing Ave Maria at my grandmother's funeral on Saturday. And it's not the hardest song in the world, not the easiest song in the world, but it's all about breath support. And supporting all this weight makes it very hard to breathe. And not having that breath support, you know, holding a Ave Maria, you know, that should be 3 times as long, and it's not easy when I'm this heavy. I can make the really pretty sounds in short bursts, but to really hold out that whole line, it's never been my specialty, long lines. I'm more of a bombastic guy than a lyrical, let's hold this line forever. And that's one of those songs you really can't sneak in a lot of breaths and make it sound good. I mean, you probably can, but I hold myself, like everybody does, to a higher standard in some things. Hey guys, have a great night, great day. Not sure what time you're watching this, and do me a favor, keep praying for me. I'll keep doing the same for you, not just the weight loss. Let's all come together and make this world a better place, one person at a time. All right, see you soon.